Okay, hello YouTubers, Chris / Dr. Chris 63, with another review for you today, and today I shall be reviewing Doctor Who Series 7, Episode 2, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Is it Jurassic Park in space? Or is it a dinosaur fail? Let's find out.
Now, listen, I found something.
What is it?
I have no idea. Do you want to find out? Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
You can help me so much more.
Those pterodactyls? Yes. Oh, I'm so scared. Doctor Who on BBC One and BBC One HD.
Okay, so, not going to lie, I thought I was going to hate Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. Purely because it looked like the stupid episode of the series. There's always one stupid episode of a series of Doctor Who. The modern series, anyway. Especially with Matt Smith, because Matt Smith's Doctor's quite sort of not really flamboyant, but sort of more like more sort of wacky and crazy, like the mad sort of professor. So he gets like overexcited about things, which the Doctor would do, and he obviously gets excited about the dinosaurs because it's dinosaurs on a spaceship. Now the reason I thought I was going to hate it, obviously, was because I thought it was going to be the silly, stupid episode, and it sort of is, in a way, and it's got a lot of the comedy in it, which you don't think would be pointless, because Doctor Who shouldn't always be full of comedy. By the way, yes, I am wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt with the 80s Doctor Who logo, but I'm going to try to wear a t-shirt for every Doctor Who episode, so you'll always get a review of me in a Doctor Who t-shirt, because I will try to do it on every Saturday, but I've got a party after the Angels take Manhattan, so it's going to be a bit of a dodgy area. Might have to end up doing that on Sunday, so I might have to have 2 Doctor Who t-shirts at the ready for that, so I can wear one to watch it and then one to review it in. But enough of that, that's the future. Back to the present, well, sort of past, really, because Dinosaurs on Spaceships already happened. We've already seen it. Unless you haven't for any particular reason. But, yeah, it's written by Chris Chibnall, who wrote the Pond Life prequel series. So he knows how to deal with the comedy aspects of Doctor Who, because Pond Life was rather funny. I don't know if you watched it. I did. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at it. And I laughed at a few moments in this episode as well. It did deliver the laughing side of it very well. The joke that I thought was the funniest was the one about Rory's dad's balls. His golf balls. Just thought I'd let that one hang before I mentioned that they were golf balls, because then you might think, balls? It was funny, okay? I'm a tiny bit immature when it comes to watching Doctor Who, but you gotta feel like a child when you watch Doctor Who, otherwise it's just not exciting anymore. So I always feel like a child when I watch Doctor Who, and I felt like a big child watching this one, because it was silly, it was stupid, but the story was actually good. There was actually a good story. There was a story there that had a meaning to be there. It wasn't a pointless comedy episode with a pointless story. It was comedy where necessary, with an actual story. It was just all there. How Rory's dad ends up on the spaceship was clever. He was fitting a light bulb for Amy and Rory, and then the TARDIS materialises around them, so he just ended up there by accident, which was really cool. But he turned out to be so good. He was clever. It was like Rory. Rory was clever in this as well. It was nuts. Amy was like the Doctor in this, and Yeah, it was really good. So it basically starts off with a doctor. He meets Queen Nefertiti of Egypt and ends up taking her on board. Then he goes to the Indian Space Agency, and they're telling him about the spaceship that's gonna crash into Earth. They want him to try and stop it before they launch the missiles. Otherwise, they'll have to launch the missiles and destroy it. But they don't particularly want to. If they can, they want to avoid doing that. But you know, stuff happens. And then he goes and recruits Riddell, who's the kind of hunter guy. He's like a hunter to Jurassic Park, which I'm pretty sure there was a hunter in Jurassic Park. But I haven't seen Jurassic Park in ages. But I do own the Jurassic Park Blu-ray Teen Ultimate Trilogy Collector's Set, which is very nice. And after watching this episode of Doctor Who, it makes you want to watch Jurassic Park. Because the dinosaurs were actually, they felt like Jurassic Park dinosaurs, in my opinion. They were very well done CGI dinosaurs. So that happens, and then they end up getting the ponds back, and then they end up on the spaceship, and it's I kind of like the way the titles happen, because it's the bit when he goes, dinosaurs on a spaceship, and then he pulls them away. Then you get the dinosaurs go out, they roar a little bit, then it goes, and there were significant title sequence changes already. We know about the logos being specific to each episode, but there was also slight changes in the colour as well, whereas last week it was more of just a greeny kind of tint. This week the green was, in my opinion, this might just have been my vision of it, but the green felt stronger, more brighter green, but there were also hints of red at the start as well, and the whole fiery orange thing was a lot darker. And then you got the logo, which was of course green to go in with the kind of foresty dinosaur thing, and it was very clever title sequence, if I'm honest, because they didn't have to change any of the actual colouring, but they did. There was a little bit of red, the green felt darker, and well, not darker, brighter, and the orangey kind of thing looked darker and brighter. It was very, very clever, actually. So, in terms of acting, all the acting was there from the usual, you know. You got Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, and Arthur Darvill, good as always. Then you had Mark Williams, I believe his name was, Rory's dad, he was good. The woman who played Queen Nefertiti, she was good. And so was the guy who played Riddell, and the guy who played the bad guy, Solomon. Not 100% sure those guys' names, but I do know that the robots were voiced by David Mitchell and Robert Webb, which of course is probably the biggest guest star. I'm not sure, because I think the biggest guest star is Solomon, but I can't remember the guy's name. But David Mitchell and Robert Webb are obviously quite big British comedy stars. They of course starred in The Peep Show, and that and that Mitchell and Webb look. But without really giving anything away, this will be a spoiler review. There was also, of course, the spoiler that the ship actually is a Silurian ship, which I liked. It was kind of linking it back to Series 5. What really happened to those Silurians in 1,000 years' time? Or 100, whatever, however long they were kept in cryostasis. I wasn't a big fan of that two-parter, I'm not going to lie, so I have no idea. I watch it every now and again. I think the Hungry Earth's the stronger part out of the two. I don't like, what I think it is, I don't like the redesign of the Silurians, so that's probably what turned me off the two-part episode. I mean, the best Silurian story will still and always be Doctor Who and the Silurians from the John Pertwee era. Now, obviously, this episode has got kind of some features of another John Pertwee story, which is Invasion of the Dinosaurs, which I don't have. I'm pretty sure they've released it. Yes, they have. It's the Unit Files box set. It has the Android Invasion, which is a Tom Baker story, and The Invasion of Dinosaurs, which is a John Pertwee story, which they recently restored in full colour. Well, not recently. They had recently done that when Series 6 was out, so... Yeah, I am talking a bit fast, but I'm going... Sorry, I had to cut there. I was just responding to a text. I thought it might be a bit boring if I was responding to a text halfway through a review, so I cut it, responded to the text, got back to the review. So where was I? I've talked about characters, talked a bit about the story. Don't really want to give too much away, because it is going to be a spoilerish review, but I want to be able to... I want it really for people who haven't seen it to be able to watch it as well, because, to be honest, there's nothing really you can ruin. It's not really an episode where you ruin something dramatically. My phone's gone off, but I'm not going to answer it. It's not really something that you can ruin. I mean, yes, there are hints to Rory and Amy leaving, but they're not massive hints. It's just basically the Doctor asks about Amy's job. She's quit it again. The Doctor says, "You've quit your job again," blah 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 blah, the life talk. And then Doctor says something about they'll keep seeing him till his end. Amy said, or vice versa. You know, hints that they might die, but you don't know with Stephen Moffat. That's the thing. He could hint that they're gonna die, and then they could not die. So we don't know. Or one of them could die, one of them might live. We have no idea. We won't know really until that episode, The Angels Take Manhattan. We might get a bit more of a bigger hint, clue in The Power of Three. And we probably will get a few more clues in the next episode, of Town Called Mercy. But yeah, overall, not a bad episode. I don't think it was as good as Asylum of the Daleks. Asylum of the Daleks was still 10 out of 10. Still the best episode of this series so far. But I've gotta be overly generous here, and I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I actually rather enjoyed it. It wasn't bad to watch. I actually thought I'd end up giving it a 6 or a 7. I didn't think I'd give it as much as an 8, but I just thought it was good. Which, surprising for me, because I genuinely thought I wasn't going to like it. I'm not one for Series 6, as you all know, and, well, I'm gonna swear, okay? I'm gonna fucking just say it. So far, these 2 episodes of Series 7 have been better than probably the entirety of Series 6. Only like 5 episodes in Series 6, right? And those 5 episodes should be their own mini-series, in fairness. Episode 6 can suck my... Series 6 can suck my balls. I don't care if you like Series 6. Everyone has their own opinions. I hate it. I really do. I like the Doctor's wife, A Good Man Goes to War, the God Complex, Closing Time, and A Wedding of Riversong. A Wedding of Riversong just makes it because I like aspects of it, but other aspects I don't. I don't like the Tesseract being the Doctor's way out of escaping death. I thought that was just cheap and just kind of makes the Tesseract feel like it was put in Let's Kill Hitler purely for that. It just kind of makes me feel like the Tesseract was useless then in the end, to be honest. Well, not useless, but pointless in the end, because it's not clever of the Doctor, in fairness. It was just his way of escaping. He could have escaped much. Sorry about that. Mother nearly pushed my camera over. So yeah, overall, it's it just gets an 8 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed it, not as much as Asylum of the Daleks, but I thought it's one that's worth checking out. Yes, it's still going to be the silly, stupid episode of the series, but it's the enjoyable, stupid, silly episode of the series. So it's worth checking out. Thanks for watching this review. Just quickly, A Town Called Mercy does look really good. That's actually one of my most anticipated episodes of the series. It was Asylum of the Daleks, A Town Called Mercy, and The Angels Take Manhattan. They were my 3 most anticipated episodes, with an episode gap in between each one. And I like it because I think a 11th Doctor story in a Western setting would work. So yeah, that'll be my next review, A Town Called Mercy. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.